Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Okay, everybody, it's a day we've been teasing for more than a week now. It's a very special edition of Studio 512, and that's because it is Ham Day 2025. We're talking about the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Not only that, but the 20th anniversary of it, where we've got free music happening all across Austin and then some, in the hopes that we can raise some money in return to help our working musicians here in Central Texas. I am very lucky because a busy man has joined us today. He was in the studio with us last week. It's Paul Scott, CEO of HAM. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Rosie. Glad to be here.
Lovely to have you with us out here at the steps of the Capitol, and boy, it's a beautiful day so far.
Yeah, it's an incredible day for live music and to appreciate all the musicians that make Austin what it is in the greater Austin area. So we're excited. Capitol is always one of my favorite things. One is just the iconic, south steps of the Capitol, to be able to hear music and just really celebrate what music means, not only to Austin, but to Texas.
Absolutely, and it was a big kickoff that we saw you give right around 10-something, so it was like, come on guys, this is Ham Day, let's go for it, which is awesome. And we've got Gina Chavez, who is performing behind us right now, both in English and in Spanish. What would you have to say about Gina? Because I'm hoping to get her on camera later today. She's awesome.
Well, Gina is just an incredible musician, first of all, but also she's just so passionate about what it means for musicians to create and play, and sharing that with the community, and also and bringing that advocacy about what the musicians need to the greater community. She's one of the biggest proponents of HAM, and she really understands and has benefited from what we have done over the years, and we're so glad for her success.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I heard it was Gina Chavez performing first, I got really excited because she's been just an absolute delight to listen to. She is going to perform, by the way, if you're going to run out of the house right now. We'd love for you to stick around and watch Studio 512, but Ham Day is more important today. So if you're going to run out of the house right now, she is performing for another little while, and then we're going to have Graham Wilkinson take the stage at 11:30. So let's get to the meat of it, Paul, if you don't mind. Let's talk about the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians and what it is y'all do.
Yeah, so why are we doing this today? To have our largest fundraiser. It's to be able to raise funds to support musicians' access to affordable, comprehensive health care for themselves and for their families, along with dental services, vision services, hearing services, vocal services, and a whole array of other services that HAM provides. So over 3,200 musicians in the Central Texas area. So it's critically important, the funds we raise today, to making sure that they stay here, create here, play here, and keep that that moniker of the live music capital of the world. And we're here to make sure that our Austin musicians are continuing to kind of be alive and well, and that they have all the resources they need to stay here and create this wonderful music.
That's right, working musicians who are right here in Austin, and we want to continue to support them. Prevention and wellness is so huge, but you have also come through for people who have needed some big money type things. For example, we had someone with us just the other day who was saying, I was able to get my first mammogram. Thank you so much to you guys. Or that I was able to get an x-ray on my liver, which I really needed. And so these can turn into life-saving bits of medical care for these musicians. Oh, it's super critical.
I mean, think about it. If you're listening, it's like most of us get our health insurance through our workplace, but where musicians are gigging and they don't necessarily have insurance in the workplace. So that's where we step in, help them get them on the Affordable Care Act. And you're right, there's so many of our musicians that actually, we actually have saved their lives. Like they've gotten insurance, go in there, and I've had this needling problem for a while. Well, they find out they have an early cancer diagnosis. Well, because of that, they get treatment and they're able to move on with their life and to continue with their music career. Whereas if they hadn't had that, it could have progressed to something much worse, and they could have had their life threatened as well as their career.
Yeah, and a good point to bring up their career, because so often we forget, but musicians have to use their feet, their hands, their brains, all sorts of things to be able to play, to teach, to DJ, all sorts of things. So I want to make sure that I speak with you for a moment here as we reflect on 20 years of Ham Day. Can you talk to me about how it's grown in that amount of time and what it's like to be celebrating 2 decades today?
Yeah, it's incredible. Ham was the vision of Robin Shivers, who was a philanthropist as well as a music manager in the community. She, along with her group of other folks came in and started HAM, and within the first year we had 500 members, and since then now we've grown to serving 3,200 musicians every year, and that growth is in response to the needs of our musicians. Let's take COVID for example. We moved into helping out with basic needs, with support for food and prescription help, and then after the pandemic, we realized that was a need beforehand, and we've continued that to this day to make sure that we create more resources for our musicians so they can stay here and not move elsewhere.
Yes, that's right, too. Maybe somewhere that pays a little better or something like that. We want to keep them here in the live music capital of the world.
Because music is one of those things, like think about this, it's one of the things that brings us all together no matter where we come from, who we are, and so it's really a community builder, and so we want to maintain that and maintain that kind of identity and culture of Austin.
Well, and actually I just had a gal walk up to me who said she's from Dallas. She just happened to be at the Capitol today. She said, "What's happening?" And I was able to give her the full spiel, so now she knows that she can enjoy some live free music all across Austin. And so let's talk number breakdown. So we've got performers, we've got number of performances, we've got number of venues. Can you give me some of the nitty-gritty that we're experiencing today?
Well, the nitty-gritty is, so we have over 123 venues featuring over 400 plus musicians, starting at 6 in the morning already, all the way until the jazz clubs in the early morning, Wednesday morning as well. And so we're all across the Central Texas area celebrating live music. Free, again, is really pivotal. And it's funny, I just got a text earlier where a friend of mine says, "Oh, y'all really are all over Central Texas." So she's already been to shopping and been to 2 musical performances. And so that's what we're doing. We want people to go appreciate musicians, go out and find out what shops and businesses are also supporting us, and restaurants, because we also have community supporters that are giving back to us this day. So you can go shop, eat, and listen to music and know you're giving back to support our local music community. You can also donate online at myham.org as well, and really go out there and support our musicians, because they give so much to us. This is the day that we give back to our musicians.
They're putting their heart out there on the line, and we want to make sure that we give the heart back as well. Let them know how much they are loved here. And I did want to make sure that I pointed out that we are beyond Austin at this point, that there are new venues cropping up, and they may not be in Austin proper anymore, which is a great thing because not all people are in Austin proper anymore.
Exactly. So we're celebrating in the town square in Round Rock all the way down to the town square in Lockhart. And so we're really embracing kind of where music is being kind of performed and celebrated across the Central Texas area, because we serve a 7-county area and we want musicians to know about us. And so don't self-select out. If you're a musician, contact us at myham.org and find out if we can help you, because we will do everything possible if you qualify to get you into our services.
Lovely. Okay. And this is just kind of a reminder before we let everybody go here, just for this first segment, because we've got a whole lot more fun coming here on Studio 512. But a good reminder that, yes, this music is free, but we've got some goals for this year. So can you remind me about those?
Yeah, so this year, we were trying to hit that $890,000 that we hit last year. And so we're really shooting towards that. So every bit supports. We're getting close to that goal already, but today is the day to make sure that each and every person, no matter how much you contribute, is going to go to support our musicians. So please do so and let your friends and family and coworkers know that this is really critical, because so many of us go out to hear music, and it's, again, as I said before, it's time to give back to our musician community to make sure that we appreciate them.
And you can do that through those community partners. Buy some Amy's ice cream today, that sort of thing. You can also do it, though. You've got QR codes everywhere so that people know that they can donate.
Yeah, we made it easy for you.
And then if someone is planning, hey, I want to hit a little live music here, a little live music there, what can they do?
Yeah, so great point, Rosie. We actually have an interactive map on our website at myham.org. That's ham with 2 A's, 1 M. And so you can choose, hey, if I'm in Northwest Austin, I can select my region and figure out where I'm going to go. Or if you want to look at different genres, you can select by genres. But you can also map out I'm going to go eat, then I'm going to go and listen to some music, or I'm going to shop first. And so plan your day, and we make it really easy for you to do on our website with the interactive map.
So nice, that interactive map. Okay, I'm going to tell everybody myham.org is where you want to go. Paul, I know you're such a busy man today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rosie.
Time. All right, I'm crossing my fingers for big dollars, y'all, at the end of today. As I said, myham.org, or you can check out QR codes around Central Texas. Make sure you stay with us, y'all. We'll be back after the break. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Ally Medical ER.
As the kiddos head back to school, many parents worry about the wave of seasonal illnesses that often follow. Dr. Jessica Best, MD and Medical Director at Ally Medical ER Central Austin, shares what families should know when it comes to colds, flu, RSV, and COVID, and how to keep the kids healthier this semester and this school year in total. So Dr. Best, first question for you. With those kids heading back to school, what illnesses are top of mind for parents?
Oh gosh, well if you have any kids in daycare and school, you already know we're seeing it all. We have flu, we have COVID, we have strep, RSV, and many others that can sometimes present similar to each other and sometimes not. So unfortunately, once the kids get back together, you're going to see the bump.
But how can we help parents tell the differences, maybe if they're a little bit more simplistic between these illnesses?
Sure. So if you're dealing with maybe low-grade fever and runny nose and maybe mild cough, maybe we're dealing more with a cold. So maybe RSV. COVID can present similarly. Flu may give you that big high fever right at the beginning and myalgias or body aches.
So when should a parent take their child to the ER?
Okay, so if there's prolonged fever, over 100.4 degrees, especially getting up to those 102, 103, 104, where you're really getting worried, or maybe you can't get the fever down with Motrin or Tylenol, that can be very worrisome for parents and of course for your child.
All right, what should families do maybe to keep these illnesses, if they can, from ever entering the home? I know that's going to be an uphill battle.
Oh, it is, because you probably want your child to go to school or go to daycare. And of course, kids are going to play with each other, with the toys, put everything in their mouth, so it can be very hard to prevent this while at school. Hopefully your kid, the teachers and you are practicing good hand hygiene, teaching them cover their mouths when they cough. Maybe they wear a mask. Maybe you keep them out of school when they're sick to prevent the other littles from getting sick. There's COVID vaccine, flu vaccine that will help maybe prevent illness or maybe the severity of illness.
And how is Ally Medical helping families during this season? You're basically saying, we're not going to make you wait, and we're open whenever you need us.
Yeah, so we have 7 locations. One of them is likely close to you. We're open 24/7, staffed with board-certified emergency physicians. We get you in quick, we get you tested real quick, and we can usually get a treatment started in-house.
And I've used y'all's services, so I'll put my hand up and say, it was excellent. All right, Dr. Best. Thank you for what you're doing for our families this season. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Ally Medical ER has 7 locations across the greater Austin area. Use online check-in at allymedical.com for added convenience. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Ally Medical ER. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Y'all, it is kicking up here as we are live at the steps of the state capitol, having a great time with Ham Day 2025, the 20th anniversary thereof. And we are really lucky today. We've got Nicole Mead. She is board chair of the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, and she has agreed to spend a little time with us. Nicole, good morning. What are you thinking so far about hearing Gina Chavez and all these live acts?
She's so wonderful. All the acts have been wonderful so far today. I have no doubt they're all going to be wonderful the rest of the night.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Lovely. Okay, I want to, if I can, since you are a board chair, talk to me a little bit about HAM's mission and what it is y'all are doing, because it's the working artists here in Austin that you really want to support.
That's right. So we feel like the musicians in Austin and our creative community overall is really the lifeblood, right?
Yeah.
It's what makes us all want to live here, what makes us love this part of the world, what makes this part of the world special. And so Health Alliance for Austin Musicians is making sure those artists, many of whom do not get paid much money,
Right.
can afford good, quality, consistent health care. So we really have a mission of preventing illnesses in the first place and providing artists musicians with the services they need to prevent illnesses, and even when there is an illness, prevent it from getting worse and getting out of hand.
Absolutely.
So we make healthcare very accessible to them. We strive to make sure they're all insured, and so taking care of your health for them becomes a non-issue.
Absolutely. And today is the day where we raise all the money so we know how many musicians we can help in the next year. And we've got lofty goals, but I think we're going to hit them today, don't you?
I have no doubt.
800,000, 900. We'll take $1 million, though, is what we will do. Okay, I want to ask you how you got involved with ham and why it's important to you.
I, many years ago, had friends who were involved with ham, and they were telling the story, and I heard the story. It sounded so unique to me. It didn't sound like anything any other nonprofit was doing, and I really hadn't heard of any other place that was doing this kind of thing for its musicians. And so it was a passion of mine and has been for a long time, and I wanted to be involved. I was a volunteer and then ended up on the board and then ended up somehow as board chair.
That's the thing. You keep showing up and giving your heart, they're going to keep asking for a little bit more from you. Okay, all right. Well, I want to hear what you're excited about today because I'm keeping you right now, but you're going to go on stage and introduce the next act after Gina Chavez. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so it's funny, so many people are saying, what are you excited about today? But it's hard to know because there's so many amazing acts. Probably the thing that has
a blessing and a curse, right?
A blessing and a curse,
you can't be
exactly.
everywhere all at once, but you
That's
can
right.
see some great music along the way.
And I will tell you, it'll be till late tonight, so lots and lots to choose from. Probably the thing that has me most excited today is that we are going to be live streaming Mama Duke.
Oh my gosh, Mama Duke. Yes, with America's Got Talent. So excited.
Feel 100% confident she's going to win.
Me
the whole
too.
Competition. And so that's going to be streaming at the Long Center, and we're going to be having a big party out there on the lawn. I think it starts at 7, and so we are hoping everybody comes to show support for her.
I am really crossing my fingers. Yeah, and we got the chance to visit with her just a couple weeks ago, so I am rooting her on big time. Graham Wilkinson is coming up next here on the stage. I do want to mention as well that we just want to encourage people to go out there and enjoy the live music. So there's that interactive map that y'all have at myham.org. What would you say about that?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty critical because there's so many venues today, over 200, so many performances happening, that going on to myham.org and accessing the app is going to be pretty important. It'll help you, based on where you live or where you work or where you're going to be throughout the day, know what's immediately around you. Then, if you have a venue you love or you have an artist that you really want to see, you'll be able to plug that name in and find out what's happening there and at what time. So
you guys have made it easy.
Everybody to go to the app and it'll be very easy.
You heard it from an expert. Okay, Nikhil, thank you so much for your time. Happy Ham Day.
Happy Ham Day to you too. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, myham.org. That's where you want to go to learn a little bit more. And of course, you can donate as well. The following portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by A Good Morning Tree Service. No matter how big or small the job is, A Good Morning Tree Service is ready to help you beautify your property. Tracy Allison and Carlos Chaz Leva are here to tell us more. And Tracy, we're starting with you. If someone called you up today or right now for an estimate, what does that look like?
They call, we answer the phone. Lovely ladies at our office get your name, address, telephone number, email, and what is important, what's going on in your property that you need, how many trees, and then when a good time and a good 2-hour window, we always call on the way to make sure that you're there, that we can answer as many questions as possible. If you don't have time, you want us to swing by and what we call a drive-by, we put it on when we're close by.
Tracy, I'd like to hear about a few tips you provide to most customers, and you told me that it starts with a term I've never heard before called root flare. What are we talking about?
Yes, so normally as soon as I get on your property, I immediately knock on your door and I look at root flares and just how the tree was planted in the first place and how it is there. And it's so important so you don't get decay at the base. You want to make sure that all of your root flares are exposed, that they don't have mulch building up around the trunk.
Chaz, I'd like you to touch on how someone would know if their tree is healthy or unhealthy. And then Tracy, to you, what about if it's dead? So Chaz, you first.
Yeah, so that's a question I get a lot, but I would narrow it down to if your tree is free of symptoms, if it's free of, let's say, mushrooms on the bark, or any disorders, any pests, you can deem that tree healthy. Some people can assume that it's healthy if it has a full canopy or a big trunk diameter size or a lot of growth. Each tree is different, so some can grow fast and allocate resources to growth,
Live sounding trunks sound like there's something behind it, but hollow or empty or dead, no liquid inside of it. It sounds very, very hollow, and I tap it half the time to figure it out, but if it is dead, it snaps and it breaks.
And so the easiest way for folks to get started,
give us a call. Every property is different. Happy to swing out, take a look, and tell you what we see. Maybe there's a crack in it that you don't see, maybe a creak in it. Maybe you think that it's swaying. I've gone out to job sites before and they're like, I think the tree's swaying, and it is, and that thing is uprooting. The ground is separating underneath.
This is when we call in the professionals.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to leave it there, y'all. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
No
Thank you.
Learn more at goodmorningtreeservice.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by A Good Morning Tree Service. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Okay, guys, we're having a great day, and it's beautiful outside. We're enjoying the steps of the Capitol, where Graham Wilkinson has just begun playing. Very mellow, very smooth. I'm enjoying it so far. And we have got a gem of a person with us today. We have got Chip Adams, who is the director of the Texas Music Office. And you might be thinking to yourself, what on earth is that? So he's here to help us out. Chip, good morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We did this on this same day last year, and so I'm happy to remind our audiences and our new Austinites what the Texas Music Office is all about.
Sure. So at our core, we're economic development for the state, specifically for Texas music. The very first state music office in the entire country.
That's something.
It is, and it makes us the longest running, celebrating 35 years this year. So
Wow.
That's quite a feat.
A little bit younger than me, but not by much. You would say I look 21. I know, you'd be kind. But yeah, so 35 years now, and you guys have therefore become kind of the front runner, the example maker of what it means to have a music office. So can you tell me actually a little bit about what it does mean?
Sure, I can. So, I mean, like, at our core, we're looking to help grow and support the Texas music industry, and one way we do that is we know Texas is a gigantic state. It's a lot of ground to cover. So one thing we've done through our music-friendly program, we've helped establish almost 90 music offices all across Texas. So
Wow.
We're at the state level, but now we have city government music offices almost in every corner of our state to help us do our job even better. And we're seeing other states look at what we're doing, and now they want music offices both at the state and city level. So we're open book, because we'd love to have more friends across the country doing what we do.
I think that's incredible. Yeah, your playbook is so good that other states are calling up and saying, hey, we could use a little help. Thank you so much. Yeah, all right. Not surprised in the Lone Star State. And not only that, you're also an incubator for small venues. Can you tell me what that means?
Sure. So this is our third year running the Texas Music Incubator Rebate Program. Again, a first of its kind. For our small venues under 3,000 capacity, they can apply for a rebate back on their mixed beverage or beer and wine taxes. So venues can get up to $100,000 back every year.
Wow.
So just so our friends know, applications are open now through the end of September, and they can go to texasmusicoffice.com to learn more. But again, other states looking at what we're doing, going, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea. Get that money back and bring more people in, because you've got the wonderful live music that they can come out and see on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night.
We're lucky to have so many musicians all across the state.
We are blessed. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I do want to ask about the proclamation that you mentioned today. It came from the mayor's office, right?
The governor's office.
Oh, the governor's even higher. I should have known from the Capitol. Okay, tell me about that.
Each year we get to come out and read a proclamation from Governor Abbott, just again celebrating what makes today so special, making Ham Day an incredible event. I mean, the size of this event, with 110 venues, over 200 performers, over 400 musicians. I mean, how could we not at the state level come and honor Ham Day, celebrating their 20th year?
It was wonderful to hear you read the proclamation out loud. And not only that, you did one more thing when you kind of kicked things off here at the Capitol today. You did a shout out to a very special group of people. Can you tell me about them?
The Ham Volunteers. Again, we're lucky to live in a city that has an organization like the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Super lucky, but they don't run without incredible volunteers, and these are the hardest working, volunteers I've met. So again, as you guys are all going through Ham Day today, you'll see them everywhere. Please go and thank them, donate, do all the things.
Donate and do all the things. That's right, because this music's going to be free, but we're still trying to raise big money. QR codes, myham.org, that's where you want to go. Chip, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Okay, all right, happy Ham Day to you. All right, guys, myham.org, that's where you want to go. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored on behalf of Walgreens by Tips on TV.
From birthdays to ball games and just because parties, people are finding more reasons to celebrate everyday life. And I think that's really sweet. Joining us today is shopping expert Trey Bodge, who is teaming up with Walgreens to share easy, affordable ways to make every occasion super special. Trey is one of the top shopping analysts in the nation, a very enviable job, who regularly appears on network TV, and we're happy to have her. So Trey, why are people looking for more reasons to celebrate?
Well, celebrations bring people together, and we need to see each other more, so I'm so excited to see this. A really interesting survey found that more than half of people are celebrating kind of just because, kind of unexpected occasions. Maybe it's a season premiere of a favorite show or a sporting event. And we've relied on Walgreens for years for those holiday and festive essentials like gift cards and greeting cards and gift wrap and, of course, seasonal decor and snacks. And now they have a newly expanded party supply section, which means that you can get everything that you need for your next celebration all in one place.
Hey, I didn't know about that. That's cool. Okay. What are some essentials you would say, Trey, for a successful celebration, one that people will remember?
Yeah, so of course you need your curated guest list, some tasty food, and then a few festive touches. And this new collection from Walgreens is great because you can find stylish and budget-friendly items starting as low as $1.99. One of my favorites in the collection are the balloons. So you can see them all around me. There are so many designs to choose from, and you can get them filled with helium right inside the store, or you can even have them delivered. So it's really one-stop shopping.
Oh, I love to hear that. Okay, any unique party must-haves?
Yeah, so of course, if you're on social media, you know that every party has to be Instagram worthy. And this collection is so broad. There are hundreds of items. It's 5 times as many festive items in the stores than we've seen from Walgreens. So this is so exciting. You can get the assortment at more than 7,000 stores nationwide. Everything from streamers to banners to balloons, everything you need for your next party.
Good to know. I've got a girlfriend's birthday party coming up, not too far away, and I was thinking about ways that I could decorate for it. So knowing that I could go up the corner to Walgreens, which is just 5 minutes from my house, sounds a lot easier than what I have been doing, which is shopping online or going to a bigger box store. Yeah,
exactly.
Okay, what about some hot party decor?
Yep. You don't have to go far. You can get your streamers, your balloons, and what's great too is even if you wait until the last minute, you can place an order on Walgreens.com and get your order delivered in an hour or pick up in 30 minutes. So it's great.
I'm thankful for them thinking about the slackers like me. Okay, hot party decorations that you have to tip us off on.
Oh, so some of my favorites are really decorating around the table. I love the themed tableware, the coordinated tableware, and then some balloons for the entryway I like so you can get some good pictures. Those are the places that I like to start.
Okay. And a favorite idea of yours for celebrating without overspending? That's a big one too. Everybody's budgets are a little bit tighter, even though we're having more fun.
Absolutely. I mean, we are celebrating more, but budgets are tighter. So I like to focus on the table because that's where we're going to be spending most of the time. So really decorate around the table. And then what I like to do if I'm having a party is to have a potluck. That way everyone can show off their famous recipes, and then you're not bearing that financial brunt of the whole party, yet you're celebrating with everyone you love.
Very smart. Puppy chow is mine. That's what I bring. Okay, where can we go for more info, Trey?
You can go to Walgreens.com or your local Walgreens store.
Sounds good to me. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored on behalf of Walgreens by Tips on TV. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. Okay, guys, it has been such a fun show listening to live music here on the steps of the Capitol, and it's just a tiny snippet of all the wonderful things going on for Ham Day 2025, the 20th anniversary of Ham Day. We have got someone super duper special to kind of wrap up this show today. It's the guy who came up with the whole idea. It's John Kuntz with Waterloo Records and also founding board member, no big deal, of Ham and Ham Day. Well, good morning to you, John. Lovely to have you. Tell us about the genesis of this idea, because Ham was already up and running, but they were looking for a way to raise money, and this came from actually Waterloo Records. You had a little idea.
Well, we had been doing benefit days where we were giving a portion of our proceeds to a very worthwhile organization, and I said to Robin Shivers, who founded Ham, why don't we see about doing that with every business across the city that we can get on board?
Yeah.
And have music, live music at each one of those venues, and make it all about local music at local businesses. And it caught fire, and here we are 20 years later, and I think it's, if you strung out all the events that were happening just today, it's would work out to 5 full 24-hour days worth of music.
Wow.
120 hours of performances happening today.
That is a lot. Yeah, 400 musicians. It's so much talent. 200 plus performances, about 130 venues. People have really stepped up, and they continue to do so every year. So if I can get you somebody who was there from the beginning to reflect on the change you've seen not only in Austin, but in what Ham can do in 20 years. Talk to me about that.
Originally we started out with 500 musicians that we were able to assist with access to affordable health care, and now we're up to 2,300.
Wow.
So that's incredible, and also just the businesses that signed on, they were basically a lot of friends of mine and other people on the board that we knew were music loving and community builders, and so it was a natural, and it had just proliferated from there. It's been fantastic.
Really a grassroots effort. Friends knowing friends, people saying, this is a great concept, this is a wonderful organization, I want to be on board.
There were so many of those businesses that, that was the part-time job of the working musicians that were working at that business.
Oh, okay.
So, in fact, lots of the early performances that way, and to this day, some places, the people that perform at that business,
it's now still there. Ah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Okay, let's talk about what's happening today. I specifically want to mention your little joint. People might be able to see the logo on the hat. Waterloo, which has just had a big move, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But you have, I have to read this off my card, Primo the Alien.
5 o'clock today, doing an incredible pop EDM in-store performance.
Pop EDM. Okay, that makes a lot of sense for someone who calls themselves... Yeah, Primo the Alien, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's in your new location. So tell us about that.
We've got, for live music, we've got a great new stage, and I'm so very happy. Taylor, you donated a section of the original Austin City Limit stage from Studio 6A on the UT campus to us, and we added on to that to make the size stage we were looking for. But it's just so cool to have that 50 plus years of ACL staging in our building.
It's living history, and that is absolutely incredible. I want to ask, before we let you go and before we have to wrap this wonderful show up, about how we can support today with Ham Day.
They can just go to myham.org and make a donation there. If they're out at any of the events, there's QR codes around where they can just pop into that, and it's just as easy as clicking away.
I couldn't have said it better myself. John, we'll leave it there. Happy Ham Day to you. Thank you so much. All right, guys. Myham.org, that's where you can go to learn more info. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Central Health. As Central Health enters what it calls its year of access, big changes are underway for healthcare in Travis County. Ted Burton is here to tell us more about what's new. Ted, that year of access that I just brought up, what does that actually mean for Travis County residents?
So the Travis County Commissioners Court just approved our budget and tax rate for fiscal year 2026. The year of access means that we are focused on hiring more doctors, opening more clinics, making sure people have access to care. That includes mental, behavioral health care, and health care for people who are experiencing homelessness. All of these things will help keep people out of the emergency room so that the ERs are freed up to care for actual emergencies. And that's going to make our entire community healthier.
All right, let's talk about the biggest barriers right now that our residents face and how this budget is going to address them.
People might be surprised to learn that here in Travis County, where you live can determine how long you live.
Oh, that's scary.
And what I mean is people who live east of I-35 often die 10 to 20 years earlier than someone who lives west of I-35. And the communities that are impacted most are communities of color. That's not acceptable. And we're going to do something about that. We're going to do something by making sure people have access to the best possible care, no matter where they live, no matter where they're from. And all of our partners are going to invest $1.1 billion in healthcare for this community. That's going to care for 209,000 people next year, making sure they have the best possible care.
That's wonderful. As I'm thinking about Austin's population, that's like 1 in 5. That's fantastic.
It's a lot of people.
Big question here, I think a lot of people would wonder about this, is Central Health raising taxes?
So next year, for the average priced home in Travis County, which is about $515,000, which sounds like a lot.
It sure does.
The average priced home in Travis County will see a $64 increase next year with their property tax bill. Even with that increase, Central Health still makes up only about 5% of a Travis County resident's property tax bill.
Okay, if someone's in need of affordable care, what would you say to them?
Central Health has the Medical Access Program, or MAP. It's a health coverage program that's like insurance. It's for people with low income, so 200% of the federal poverty level. That is a program that we provide for people who don't have insurance and don't have a lot of income. Also, Sendero Health Plans is our health insurance company.
And continuing to make Austin the wonderful city that it is.
Absolutely.
We really appreciate your time today, Ted. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Learn more at centralhealth.net. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Central Health. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by the Health Alliance for Austin Musicians, Ally Medical ER, A Good Morning Tree Service, Walgreens by Tips on TV, and Travis County Central Health.